Francis Ngannou is very interested in a potential showdown with Anthony Rumble Johnson.
All right, well, Francis, humor me for a second, because we want you to fight Stipe. If you win the title, it's the biggest moment of your career. We want you to fight John. Media, fans, we play matchmaker. There's a guy who people really, really want you to fight. His name is Anthony Rumble Johnson. And I talked to Rumble this year. I said, what about you at heavyweight one day with Ngannou? Bombs away, brother. He said, I would love that challenge. Does that kind of fight interest you when you can get maybe the second biggest knockout puncher against the first biggest knockout puncher and see what happens?
Yeah, I would very be interested about that fight. Rambo Johnson is a guy that I respect a lot. I know him as a person, and I admire him as a person, And it would be great anyway, either way, to share octagon with him, no matter if it's for the title or not.
Cub Johnson has fought all 26 of his UFC WEC bouts at featherweight. Now he's opening the door to dropping to 135 or moving up to 155.
Making 45 has actually gotten a little easier for me. So it just kind of opened up the idea of me possibly doing the 35 fight, possibly doing 55. I'm open to the ideas. I think the biggest thing at this point is, for one, I got this fight ahead of me. I'm trying to get some momentum, and I've made a lot of changes in my style, and brought some things back, introducing new things. So I'm just trying to get on rhythm of Cub 5.0, and then if whatever happens after that, any just fun fights at 55 or 35 or 45, I think that's the biggest thing. I just want fights that are interesting.
Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. slated to earn huge paydays for Saturday's exhibition bout. According to a report from Yahoo's Kevin Lowe, hearing that Tyson will make $10 million and Roy Jones Jr. $3 million for their exhibition Saturday. Coach says Mike Tyson aiming to knock out Roy Jones Jr. despite rules. No one spars a full month for an exhibition. Curtis Blade says UFC has to pay him more to fight John Jones. I can fight a bum to make $200K.
Now, John Jones has moved to the heavyweight division, or so he says. He's relinquished the light heavyweight title, which means he's serious about it. What do you think of him facing the winner of your fight, you versus Derek Lewis, to prove that he belongs in the heavyweight division by facing a top contender?
No, I'm not doing that. I win this fight. I want the title shot. I'm not. So I don't need to fight John Jones to make my 400 grand. I can fight a bum and make 200 grand. If I'm fighting John Jones, I want that money. I'm not fighting John Jones to prove I deserve a heavyweight title shot. That's ridiculous.
But does the idea of being the first to meet John Jones not appeal to you?
I mean, it does, but we're talking about money. I'm not gonna fight John Jones for 200 grand. That's ridiculous.
Jai Hooker eyes Justin Gaethje next. That's the fight that lights a fire under me.
I'm playing matchmaker, but where does that leave you? I'm assuming, now looking at the rankings and stuff like that, maybe Rafael dos Anjos, is that something that would interest you?
Oh, we'll have to wait and see. Hands down, I want the Gaethje fight for just to me, as a fan of the sport, just watching it from the outside.
Charles Oliveira plans to shock the world in war with Tony Ferguson at UFC 256. Speaking to UFC.com, Oliveira said, I'm happy for this opportunity to fight Ferguson. I'm taking this fight on less than 20 days notice, but it's a chance to display my talent and show I'm ready to fight any top 5 ranked guy like I've been saying for a while now. The time has come, I will shock the world on December 12th. Alistair Overeem admits retirement is looming, but says he still has a couple UFC fights left in him. On Twitter, Alistair Overeem said, I'm still improving even at 40. I think you can clearly see that in my fights. I'm still on a learning curve, but I have to be realistic. I'm going to have a couple more fights, then I'm going to hang up the gloves. If I win the belt, then the mission is completed. #1final run.